Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Rowberry, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is more chit-chat style, casual, laid back. So grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, because if there is one thing your girl can do, it is chit-chat. You guys know I love just talking your faces off. So, let's go ahead and get started. So this is actually the second video I am doing of a Q&A style. I had done a Q&A video last month with the request of my girl Stacy, and it was such a great response, you guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. It means so much to me, especially when there's a video that I'm like, well, I don't know if it's gonna be interesting, but you guys were so wonderful and you guys sent in questions, and honestly, I had enough to do another probably 2 Q&As last month, but life. So I didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm gonna make up for that this month. So I am going to address some of the questions here today that were sent in. Thank you so much for sending in your questions, whether you left a comment on that video or you sent me an email directly. I'm not going to be able to address all of them here today. I know you guys are so sweet. You're like, it's okay if it's a 5-hour video. I love you guys. I really love you guys. The support means the absolute world to me, and I feel so lucky to have you guys as my friends. So, but to try not to make this an hour-long video, I selected some of them, and then I think probably next week I'll do another Q&A. So if you have questions, definitely feel free to send them in. You can either comment on this video or you can send them in to me directly. My email is lmrowberry@gmail.com. So I'm a complete open book, you guys know that. So I am transparent and open, and if you guys have questions for me, I am happy to answer them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm kind of loving this whole Q&A thing now. Like I said, I wasn't sure what the response was gonna be. I was like, I don't even know if anyone's gonna be interested, but like I said, you guys were amazing. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So this first question came from A. Gardner, and the question is, the questions I'd like to ask: do you have different scents for each of your 34 warmers? Or in other words, do you have 34 scents melting all at once? And do you ever get nose blind? So we talked about in the last Q&A the abundance, the overabundance of warmers that I have displayed throughout my house. And the question is, I have different scents going, but in like different areas of the house, if that makes sense. So downstairs, typically I can go through 3 bars of wax. 3 bars meaning whole bars, not like 3 cubes, but yes, whole bars. So typically what I will do is do 3 scents that are complementary to each other. So I'll do alternating different scents and alternating warmers, if that makes sense. So I'll have 1 scent in one warmer, and the warmer that's in the same room but on the opposite side, I'll do a complementary scent in that warmer, and just like that way it's just a nice complementary blend, because downstairs is where I have the most warmers, I guess. So but sometimes I will feel like I just want to smell 1 scent, so I'll go through and just have the same scent going downstairs, and then typically in the smaller spaces, like our bedrooms upstairs and stuff like that, that's when I'll have like 1 whole scent going here in this room, a whole different scent going in the office, a whole different scent going in our bedroom. So I hope that helps answer your question. So when you see me going through what I've been warming and stuff, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff, it's not because I have a different scent going in every single warmer, definitely not, but in different areas of the house I do. So I hope that helps. Next one is from my friend Tina, and she says, how do you remove the wax from your warmers, and how often do you clean them to remove the wax residue? What do you use? So I'm actually glad that you asked, and I know that you asked this a month ago, but I was actually getting ready to, probably next week, I was actually going to do a video to show you how I change out my wax and how I clean out the dishes, because we're going into, well, we're in the fall season now, and with the fall season we have more heavier, spicier scents, where those types of scents will usually leave more residue, more staining on your dishes. So I like to do this every fall season and show you how I change out my wax and how I clean the dishes and how to remove those stains. So kind of in a nutshell though. So my favorite method personally is when I first turn on my warmers, I'll just turn them on for like 2 minutes. It kind of depends on the wattage of the warmer and what the shape of the dish is. But usually like about 2-3 minutes, just so that the wax just starts to soften a little bit. Then I will just kind of push it out, because then I just have a wax disc and then I'll just throw it away. But if I want to change out my wax and all of my wax is pulled out and all of my warmers, then I'll take either cotton balls or cotton cleanups, and then I'll go around and soak it up that way. As far as removing the wax residue or any staining, you can use there's several different things you can use actually. You can use counter clean, you can use rubbing alcohol. I know some people have used magic eraser. I haven't used magic eraser personally, but I know a lot of people will use that. And then actually you can use black raspberry vanilla wax. It's the weirdest thing, and I did a video on this last year showing you that you can actually just, if you want to just melt down black raspberry vanilla in a stained dish, when you go to change it out, the stain's going to be gone. So it's fantastic. But my like go-to method is using rubbing alcohol, because it's super fast and easy. But stay tuned for that video, because I'm a very visual person, so I like to actually see people do the thing that I'm trying to do, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. So stay tuned for that video, probably next week or the week after. Let's see here. Next one is from my friend Anna. So Anna says, what style of mixing do you prefer? Same warmer, alternating? Personally, I stick with alternating, because even with all my wax, I only tend to use 1 cube per warmer. In that same vein, is there actually a benefit to multiple cubes in a warmer? So me personally, I prefer alternating too, and I don't know why that is. I think it's because like I can walk through, like specifically the downstairs is where usually I'll do alternating scents, but like I'll walk through, if I'm going to the front door to grab a Scentsy package or whatever, then I get the hit of the scent that's in the warmer that's right next to the door. And then as I'm walking back into the kitchen or to the living room, then I get different hits of complementing fragrances. So I really like doing alternating. That's my thing. But if there's a specific like scent I'm trying to like duplicate, if I'm trying to duplicate a candle scent or something like that, then I'll mix in the same warmer. So it really just depends on the scent that I'm trying to create in terms of like how I'm mixing. And then in terms of how many cubes I use, so I personally feel like I get better performance with 2 cubes, and then I know some people feel like they get better performance with 3. I have tried, and I feel like the two cubes is the sweet spot for me. I don't feel like I get any better performance with 3 cubes, so I mean, I have a lot of wax that I can warm through, but I figure I don't know. I just feel like the 2 cubes is a good sweet spot for me. But if I've got just like 1 cube left of a bar, I'm not going to leave that there. I'll put 3 cubes in that warmer. But for me, I think 2 is great. 1 I feel like is a little bit weak for me personally, but 2 I feel like is perfect. I get really great performance. I don't really find that I get more beyond that point personally. Okay, next one is from Judy. So hi, Judy. She says, I love this. I'm so glad. And I hope you guys like this one as well. So Judy says, I would enjoy a visual of what your Scentsy family tree looks like. Who is above you? Who have you added as consultants under you, if that's possible to share? So I'm, like I said, I'm a visual person. So I think I'm going to work on a family tree. I don't know if the people on my team want me to share or not. So I'll share with you like my upline, I guess. So and what I'll try to do for like the next time is maybe like create an actual like family tree, if you will. I currently have over 400 people on my team. So I feel like sharing who is on my team with me might be a little bit hard to show you like visually, but so my upline, so I actually signed up under my girlfriend Tawny, and she is actually no longer a consultant. So I joined just for the benefit of myself. Like I did not want this to be a business in any kind of way. I know you guys have probably heard this if you've been hanging around with me for a while, but I joined not with the intention of doing anything with this. So things change. But I didn't want to do parties. I didn't want to build a team. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted, honestly, to buy for myself and to sell to my mom. Like, I knew that her and I could keep me active. So I was like, sign me up. Let's do this. I get my own testers. I can order for myself. Yes. So I signed up under my girlfriend, Tawny, because I knew she would kind of leave me alone. And then shortly thereafter, she wound up going inactive. So she went out, maybe it was 6 months to a year in that maybe she went inactive. So she stopped. So what happens with that when your sponsor goes inactive, you then roll up to their sponsor. So now my star director, or my sponsor, is Sarah Beeman. And we actually went to high school together. So we didn't have like a relationship or anything. We knew of each other. Like she was, I think, a grade above me, but I knew who she was, she knew who I was, and all that. So everything was fine, but I didn't have that relationship. So, but it's been a great relationship ever since, for sure. So this journey has been pretty awesome. So Sarah Beeman is my star director. My superstar director is Amanda Johnson. So, Sarah Beeman is local to me. Amanda Johnson is in Oklahoma. So, and then I know her superstar director is Wendy Johnson Marks. So, and I'm not sure exactly where she's located, but basically we all wind up leading back up to Deanie Morehouse, so we are all under Deanie Morehouse. She is like consultant number 1, but I'm with you. I kind of like seeing that like family tree style. So I'll try working on something like that. If you're interested in seeing that, I kind of like seeing that stuff too, but, we've got an amazing team and an amazing upline. They're fantastic. So hope that helps. Okay, my friend Sharon, she says, my question is, can you suggest that Scentsy put shorter cords on warmers that are obviously kitchen warmers? People put them on their counters most of the time, and maybe some put them on a kitchen table, but don't think that is very often. But who needs a 4 or 5 foot cord on a counter? For instance, like the lemonade pitcher warmer should be a much shorter cord, don't you think? I totally agree. I know you can use cord concealing stands, but I generally don't even use a stand if it's on my kitchen counter. Don't need it. They could maybe give people the option of cord lengths for kitchen warmers. That would be good. Yes, Lisa, it's me. Yes, Sharon, I know it's you. So I totally agree with that. I think that would be amazing to offer cord lengths. I just don't know how practical it is for them to offer cord lengths, because you'd have to think, well, I guess they could always and I don't know how the warmers are actually made, but I'm thinking if you assemble the cord upon order, I guess, because I was thinking, well, that would be really not very cost efficient, because they'd have to make enough for however many cord sizes. So I don't know how practical it is that they'll do it. I think it's a great idea, especially like you said, for the lemonade pitcher warmer. That's obviously for a kitchen. So I don't know if they'll do it. I am happy to put it in the idea share, just to see. I personally just love the cord concealing bases. That's what you see all throughout my kitchen, because I hate to see the cord mess as well. It's like a roadmap to hell. I don't like that look either. So I just use the cord concealing bases. They're absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think it would be cool if they offered the option. I just don't know if that's going to actually be a thing. So okay, next one. We've got a few questions from my friend Emily. Hi, Emily. So we have 8 questions. I'll try to not be too chatty. So Emily asks, how do you always have such a positive attitude? How do you handle cynical people? I don't know. I've always been the type of person that I try to see the good in every situation. I was always raised as everything happens for a reason. So even though this may be a crappy day or a crappy situation, that's going to lead you to your next, what you're meant to do, or the better situation, So for instance, my husband was having a hard time years ago. He was having a really hard time at his job. He was working really hard to get a canine position, and he did everything he could do. He was, working so hard. He was training with the dogs. He was, Saturdays he was out there. He was doing as much as he could, and he got passed up time after time. And then he wound up that he was in it's called the PIO position, the public information officer. So he was the officer that was on the news talking about, breaking news and things like that. And he didn't love that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he loved being on TV. I mean, it was just like, super nerve wracking and stuff. So he was in that position, but that essentially led him to the position he's in now, which he absolutely loves. He's a detective, and he makes such a huge difference in our community with the specific assignment that he's done. So while he had kind of a rocky period, it definitely led him to where he was meant to be. And so that's how I was raised, was just looking at certain situations and how it leads you to where you're supposed to be, So I don't know. I just feel like, and I have my bad days. So just know that even though you may think I'm bubbly and happy and all that 24/7, I have my bad days for sure. So, but I always try to just see the positive or find the silver lining, no matter what the situation is find, okay, how is this going to work out? So that's what I try to do anyway. She also asks, what are some of your hobbies outside of Scentsy? So obviously Scentsy is a major hobby for me, not just my job, but it is my hobby. And I don't know, I don't want to say I'm boring, but like I love to travel, pre-pandemic, Sean and I love to travel and, do whatever we can with the dogs. Like that's like the ultimate thing, is if we can travel somewhere with the dogs and have new experiences that way. We like to go to the gun range and shoot some rounds. I don't know. I really enjoy being with friends and family and spending our time that way. And then, like I said, and traveling, I love traveling too. Who are some of your first customers? My super close-knit friends. So I actually didn't even want my friends knowing I was a Scentsy consultant at first. There's obviously a stigma around MLMs. And so I was like, to be blunt, I just thought I was too good for it. I was like, I am not one of those. Like, that's totally not me. And no, it's totally me. There's a right, as long as you stay authentic to who you are and don't become one of these cookie cutter MLM situations, then it's the situation is what you make of it, So as long as you stay authentic to who you are, it's fine. But I was just like, because like I was saying, when I joined, I didn't want to do parties or anything like that. And I remember telling my upline, don't talk to me about parties, don't talk to me about numbers, don't invite me to team meetings, like just let me be, like totally let me be. So honestly, my mom was my first customer, but then, so I didn't tell my friends because I didn't want them asking me to do a party for them. I was like, don't ask me to do a party. But then the cat got out of the bag. I think it was my friend Sarah who was over, and she saw my testers and she was like, what are those? Are those lip glosses? And I was like, nope. I was like, I decided to join Scentsy. So then it kind of spread like wildfire. And so then I was selling to my friends. So, we would just schedule like a wine night or something, and they would come over. It was super casual. It wasn't like really a party, but like once a month we would just schedule like a girls like wine night, and they would come over and sniff through my testers and I'd be placing orders. So those were my first customers. And then she asked, now this was a month ago. So Emily asked, are you guys taking any trips soon now that things with COVID are getting better? Well, things with COVID are now back. So, and as everybody knows, everything's pretty much locked down and it's not the ideal thing to be traveling. We did, as you guys saw in July, we went to Vegas. Love Vegas. I love Vegas any time of year. It's amazing. We went there for our anniversary. And then just a couple weekends ago, or a couple weeks ago, was it last week? I think it was, yeah, gosh, that was just last week. Tells you what kind of a week I had. So last week we went to Half Moon Bay and spent some time there at the beach. We took the dogs. It was a lot of fun. So that's what we had planned. We don't have anything else planned going forward. I don't know where the next place will be or when it will be. We just kind of, when we feel like leaving, we're like, what should we do? And then we look up Airbnb or hotels, depending on what it is that we're doing, but we have nothing planned yet. Okay, do you go to the same dentist now that you used to work at? I was just wondering. So I was going to her office still, but then she sold the practice. She sold the practice to the dentist that I used to work for. She sold the practice. Gosh, has it been, what was this spring, I think? So she sold it to the neighboring dentist. I don't like that dentist. He was shady. He did shady things, and patients would leave there left and right and come over to our office, and I just didn't trust him. And I had, she really wanted me to go there because it looks better for her if her patients stay going there. But I was just like, you didn't even like him. I was like, why did you sell your practice to a dentist you don't even like? I don't know. It was very interesting. But she was like, please, will you just try to go? And I'm like, all right, well, I don't need any treatment right now. So, you know, how hard can it be to have the doctor just do an exam? Because the hygienist is the one that's doing the cleaning. So, but I had such a bad experience with them over the phone, kind of, whatever, this whole video is chit chat. So, the phone exchange was really bad. So I had my appointment scheduled to have my cleaning, and then they went ahead and canceled it, rescheduled it without even me okaying it. They just went ahead and rescheduled it. And I'm just like, what if I had like a 9-to-5 job? Like, cause it was in the middle of the day or something. like what if that wouldn't have worked for me? Which the day did not work for me. But so I called. This was like the next morning, after they called to tell me that they had rescheduled my appointment. So I called to let them know that doesn't work for me, so can we reschedule? They were gonna charge me a late fee, like a cancellation fee, because it was within 48 hours. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, you're gonna try to charge me a cancellation fee when you rescheduled my appointment? And no, that's not how that works. And so needless to say, I went ahead and canceled my appointment and Sean's appointment there. And then I wound up going back to a dentist that I used to work with. I would have stayed with her forever and ever, but she just couldn't offer me enough hours at the time because I was just out of dental school. I didn't have my license yet, so I was making no money. And I went from working retail, usually a lot of times 6 days a week. One of those days, because I was in management, was a 12-hour shift. And I was making management pay. And then I go from that to now I have college bills to pay for, and I'm now working 3 days a week. Oh no, it was so bad. I was like, see, and this is a perfect situation. I was like, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I was like, here I thought I was doing something right. I thought I was doing something good. I was getting out of retail and I thought this was going to be a great decision for me. And now I'm making no money. I was just like, we're having trouble paying our bills. So I'm like, this is awful. So I wound up working at the place I wound up at for 8 years. She only needed an assistant 1 day a week. So I would work Monday, Wednesday, Friday with the doctor that I am now her patient. I would work Monday, Wednesday, Friday with her. And then Thursdays I would be with the doctor that I was with for 8 years. So I just felt like she was wonderful. Now, of course, now she is open 5 days a week, long hours. But everything happens for a reason. You know, if I don't know what would have happened. If I would have stayed with that doctor, would I have started up with Scentsy? I don't know. It's so weird how like things play out. So, to answer your question, no, I'm not with that particular doctor, the last doctor that I worked for, but I am a patient of the doctor that I worked at right out of dental assisting school. Okay, next question. Why does your mom have so many chickens? So my mom has chickens. She has 14, 15 chickens, because they're so cute. So her and her fiance moved into this house a year and a half ago, and the house had chickens. So that is why she has chickens. And then she fell in love with them. And because they don't live very long, she's lost three of the chickens, because they were all older chickens anyway. And so 3 of them have passed away, and so then she gets babies. So, and I mean, I'm not complaining because I love farm fresh eggs. They are delicious. So that is why she has chickens. It kind of just fell into her lap and she loves it. I love these questions, Emily. Question number 7, how do you function on so little sleep? I just do. My brain just doesn't turn off. I can nap sometimes. I definitely can nap, but like, for instance, the harvest collection. So I stayed up. So I usually get up, it depends on what Sean's working, but usually, and I think that day it was on the 1st, or just kidding, on the last day of August, he had an extra early day. So I think we were up at like 4 or 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, I'll take a nap today. It'll be great. Guess who didn't take a nap because her brain couldn't turn off. So I was up from 4:30 in the morning through until 2 a.m. the next morning, because we launched the harvest collection at midnight. And then once I was able to place all the orders, there's just this adrenaline and I just can't turn it off. Now, what I will say is I was dog meat. I was dog meat on the first one. I did wake up. So because I slept from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. because 5 a.m. is when Sean got up for work. And I thought, okay, well, I'll nap for a little bit after he leaves. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So, but then I slept hard. I slept hard that next night. So, yeah, typically I'll just sleep really hard the next night and I'm fine. So I don't know. It's just, I guess I'm used to it at this point. So last question from Emily is, what does a typical day look like for you? What do you find that you are always working? Oh, do you find that you're always working, or do you set working hours for yourself? So this looks different for each consultant. Now, and this has looked different for me throughout my journey. This has looked very different. When I started, it wasn't working. This was just a hobby. And then as things started to change a little bit, when I was working in dentistry, then I would work for a bit in the morning. I would work for like an hour or 2 in the morning before I would go to work. Then I would work on my Scentsy business during my lunch break, and then for like an hour or 2 after work. So I made it fit my life the way I could. Some days I could only work during my lunch break. Maybe it didn't work out in the morning. So like, I just made it work for that. So if you are doing Scentsy and you also have a full-time job, like, just like, there's something called a power hour. So just like work on your follow-up, work on, checking in with your customers and placing orders and things like that. Work on it when it works for you. Like, that's the beautiful thing about this business, is you can make this tailored to your life. It doesn't have to look one way or another. I may work more than what somebody else does, or maybe somebody else works way more than I do. So you can just totally tailor this to fit your life. So for me personally, I don't set working hours. You can ask Sean. I basically work around the clock. I do try to turn off at night when he comes home, because the second that we wake up in the morning, I am starting to work. So I go into my workstation, I look at the team numbers, see if there's been any promotions, so that way I can give people a shout out and say, congratulations. I'll start working on follow-up, I'll start working on thank you cards, things like that. And then when Sean leaves, then I may start working on YouTube stuff, replying to emails I always do in the morning, and just that type of thing. But then when Sean, and you'd be surprised, like, I never would have thought, I thought when I started doing this full time, I thought, man, I'm gonna have so much time during the day, it's gonna be amazing. I don't know where the time goes. When you start working from home, it's like, it's always whatever. Like, so Sean will be like, all right, I'm leaving in a half hour or whatever. I'm like, where did the time go? Like, what happens? Because I'm constantly busy. I'm constantly working on something. So time is such a trippy thing, and how I thought I was going to have so much time working from home, and how I was like, I'm going to get all the housework done, and I'm going to do all the things, and it's going to be, no. It's actually, I feel like it's harder to work. I don't know. I love working from home and I wouldn't trade it for the world, but the days go by much quicker, much quicker than I was anticipating. So thank you so much, Emily, for your questions. Okay. Next one. I'm sorry this video is long, you guys. And this, I'm only picking a few. So I think I'm going to do another Q&A next week. So from my friend Renee, hi Renee. She says, I love Bath & Body Works Candle Autumn, but I don't burn candles anymore. Do you have any recommendations of what might be similar? Autumn Road Trip. Autumn Road Trip, pick it up. You're gonna love it. You're not gonna miss your Bath & Body Works candle, I promise you. So let me know. Okay, next one is from my friend Kelly, and she says, does Scentsy sell sample packs does Scentsy sell sample packs for us customers to check out the scents, I think is what she means. 2, how about bring back my warmer? I would love that. I've heard people like throw this out there for years now, and I would love it if they would do that. Do a bring back my warmer thing from like old retired warmers. I would love it if they would do that. I haven't heard if they will. We're getting somewhere with the bring back my buddy, okay? So maybe we can do a bring back my warmer. I hope so. So if there is ever anything that I hear, any scuttlebutt or anything, I will definitely tell you guys first. As far as sample packs, do you mean like the testers? Do you mean testers? Is that what you mean? They're not available for customers, but if you talk to your consultant, or I'm happy to help you out, in the consultant store, we can purchase testers and have it sent to you. So yes, you can. It's just not available through like a regular website. You would have to have a consultant actually place the order for you. So if that's what you mean, I hope. Otherwise, if you're looking for samples of like body products or things like that, that's up to the consultant. So, you can definitely reach out to your consultant and say, hey, I'm interested in trying the body wash or the dish soap. Like, do you have a sample that I could try? That type of thing. Then you would want to contact your consultant. Okay, next one is from my friend Christy, and she says, since you put different amounts of cubes in your warmers, how many cubes will the cotton cleanup soak up? So what I find is it's usually like 4 to 5 cubes is what the cotton cleanups will soak up. So if you are like Anna and you only put 1 cube in all of your warmers, then you can change out 5 warmers. So for me, I can typically change out like 2 or 3 warmers. 3 is usually pushing it, but definitely 2 I can always change out. So I think it soaks up like 5 cubes. And then Faith asks, does having your warmers on 24/7 affect your electricity bill? No, it doesn't. We have actually done a little experiment. My best friend, she was like, you know what? Because she leaves her warmers on 24/7, and she was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna see if it actually makes a difference. It was like pennies. Like, it really did not make a difference at all. So go hog wild. Have at it. Okay, this next one is from Monica, and she asks, do oils go bad after so long? Some of mine come out in a stream instead of drops. So I think it actually has more to do with the dropper itself. So what she's referring to, so with this dropper, so I think it has to do with the dropper itself, because and they should all be the same, right? They should all be the same, but they just aren't, because some of mine come out in a steady stream and some of them come out in drops, and some of them it's like really hard to get them out and you're like shaking it. You're like, come on. So I think it actually has to do with the dropper itself, unless the type of oil it is. Maybe some oils are thicker than others and that would make a difference. That could be it, actually. You would think they'd all be the same consistency, but maybe some oils are thicker. But I was thinking maybe it was just something wrong with the droppers maybe. So sorry, I don't have like a better answer for you. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the emails. So we're gonna do we're gonna do 3 emails, and then I promise I'll let you go. And then I will do another Q&A next week to address some other questions that weren't answered today. So if your question didn't get answered, not to worry, I'm not ignoring you. I will address it next time. So, and like I said, also, if you have questions too, feel free. Don't feel like because I didn't address some from the first one that you don't want to send questions in. I'm happy to filter in some of those questions. Okay, so this is from our friend Ashley, and she asks, what's the best way to clean the wall fans without damaging them? So I'm really glad that you asked, because this is something that I do get asked quite a bit, because as you are using either the wall fans, the Scentsy Go maybe not so much, but the wall fans and the mini fans, you will notice that the little fan like propellers will start to get really dusty. So what you can do is just use like a keyboard cleaner. It's just the canned air, basically the pressurized canned air. Just use that to clean the blades, and it works like a charm every single time. She also asks, what's the best way to store the pods when they aren't in the fans? Right now I have my pods that aren't in the fans in the clamshells in a drawer. Is that okay? That's perfect. That's exactly what I do. So I always recommend to keep, if you're not planning on using the pods until they lose all fragrance, then I would suggest keeping the clamshells, and then when you're not using them and they still have fragrance, then keep them back in the clamshells, and then yeah, in a drawer, anything like that is fine. Just somewhere where it's cool and dry. Don't stick it in your car because those little fragrance beads, they can melt. So don't leave them in your car or anything like that. Just, you know, you can hang them, you can store them flat, however you want to. Just make sure it's a cool place. And then, yeah, so that was it from Ashley. So thank you so much, Ashley. Next one is from Victoria. So she says she has a few questions. So, is being a Scentsy consultant your full-time job? I know you've mentioned dentistry here and there, but I was just wondering if Scentsy was your 9 to 5. Scentsy is my all the time. Yes, Scentsy is my full-time job. Gosh, how long have I been doing this full-time? For like 2 years now? At least 2 years, yeah. It's been like 2 years. So I actually gave my notice. I gave my notice to the dental office on December 26th of 2018. And talk about coming back from Christmas vacation. So we had always taken a week off for Christmas for the office. So the office would be closed entirely. And I knew I was gonna quit, but I wanted to wait until I came back from the Christmas vacation because I didn't want to ruin my doctor's vacation. I think she was going on a cruise or something. So I was like, I knew I was leaving, but I didn't want to give her my notice then. Because it was a very small office that I worked for. It was just one doctor and one assistant and me. So, because I was cross-trained, so I could work chair side, or I was mostly up front because she trusted me the most. I preferred to be chair side, but she was having issues with the accounts and people messing with numbers and stuff, and so she had asked me to be up front, and then when need be, we could like flip-flop. So that's it. Like, it was just the three of us there. So having one person leave threw everything off. And so I was kind of scared, but this is what I wanted to do, you know, and so I gave my notice on December 26th, and then on December 31st, just a couple days later, my dad passed away, and that was completely unexpected. So I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my gosh. So then Scentsy was not the forefront anymore, and I was like, I don't know what this is gonna look like now. Like, I don't know if this is the right decision. And so I stayed on for a little while longer. So initially I gave her my 2 weeks, but then my dad passed away, so I took some time off there. But then I wound up staying just like, I was on like 2 days a week just to like help with billing and stuff like that. So I was on like 2, sometimes 3 days a week just for a few months, just to like help her so that she could find my replacement. And then I left. So I've been doing this for about 2 years now. Okay, she also asks, of all the Scentsy products, what is your favorite? Warmers, diffusers, car products, what product couldn't you live without? Okay, so I'm gonna give you two because they go hand in hand. So it's wax and warmers. So, and I feel like that counts because I'm like, well, I love our wax, and I'm like, but our warmers are so beautiful, and I guess I could use other wax. I'm like, but I don't want to. So wax and warmers. I am deciding that counts as one product. So wax and warmers is my go-to. If I could not use any other product ever again from Scentsy, I would have to have at least my wax and warmers. Let's see here. If you had to pick a favorite scent in each category, what would it be? So I'm excited that you asked. So here I was like, I'm gonna make this short. I'm only gonna pick a few things, but you guys know I talk. So in each category, and this is of the current catalog. So this isn't talking about older retired fragrances or anything. That is in the current catalog. I will pick one of my favorite from each category. So the holiday collection, winterberry apple tea. Amazing. It's so wonderful. It's fruity. It's honestly, I could totally see warming this all year. I love it. It's apples. I think there's cranberry in here. Honey. Oh, it's so good. So that's my favorite. Spice category would be cider mill. You guys are not surprised. This is pumpkins, apples, and just a touch of spice on the back end. It's so good. So cider mill has to be. Bakery would be apple butter frosting. And this was a hard one because for me, you guys know I'm a bakery girl. So to say that this is my number one of the bakery collection that's currently available, that's saying something. This is just, it's cider mill. Cider mill. It is apple cider meets a rich, thick vanilla buttercream frosting. It's sweet and it's decadent and it's wonderful. Okay, next one is the fresh category. I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Arctic Kiss, you guys already know. Oh, is that upside down? Arctic Kiss, you guys already know. This is my everything. This was so easy. I was like, oh, yeah, Arctic Kiss. This is just, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a melon scent that I can totally see warming all year. Woods category would be one of the new releases, which is Cashmere and Corduroy. I am slightly obsessed with this. It is a beautiful, beautiful bedroom scent. I feel like if you like cozy cardigan, you're gonna love this because it's kind of along the same lines. It's absolutely gorgeous. Fruity. Okay, so I have 2, but I have reasons. You guys know I have to complicate things anytime I possibly can. So the fruity category, technically, this is in the fruity category, but I feel like it doesn't belong there. So I'm moving this scent out of the fruity category and actually into the floral category. So looking at your catalog, this is going to be in the fruity category, but this is not going to be my fruity scent pick. It's actually my floral scent pick. So I feel like I'm kind of cheating, but not really. So another new release, Scarlet Sunflower. This is beautiful. It's a really beautiful fall floral. It's so pretty. And I really do think, I get that it's in fruity. I get apple from this for sure, but it's apples and a fall floral. And I feel like it's more of that fall floral that's shining through, which is why I have decided to remove it from fruity and put it in floral. So this is technically my floral pick. So for the fruity pick, I will pick Snowberry. And Snowberry is so different. It's not like anything else. There is, I think it says there's like loganberry and strawberry, and I'm like, I have no idea what loganberry smells like, but I love it. If this is what it smells like. It's so hard to describe, but it is like a winter fruity scent for sure. Let me read you the description. Snowberry is luscious blend of loganberry, strawberry, peppermint, and cinnamon. There's no peppermint. If the peppermint in here is giving it more of a cooling effect, then I'll agree with that. But there's no cinnamon in here. There's no cinnamon. 0. Zilch. Nada. So Snowberry would be my pick for fruity. 2 more. Citrus. Coconut lemongrass. This is just a go-to staple here. I love this on its own, but it's also very functional. If you guys have been hanging around with me, you know I have told you this before. If you have a very aromatic food that you are preparing, something that has a lot of spice, or maybe it's fish or bacon or something that just the food smell lingers, coconut lemongrass is going to take care of it for you right now. And it's a powerhouse, and it will get rid of any scent that you are trying to get out of there. So coconut lemongrass, must have. Last but not least is from the Disney collection. Now I feel like I might be cheating here too, because it's not, it is not in the catalog. It is a limited time release, but I love it. Went into my club, Aladdin 3 Wishes. This just, it's blueberries. It smells like Blueberry Rush. and it's perfect. So 3 Wishes is my Disney pick. Okay, was that it? Will you be giving any sneak peeks on the fall winter catalog? It's available. So I had done a sniff session, so sorry I didn't give you guys any like real sneaks. So sorry about that. Okay, last email here. This is from our friend Teresa. The last one was from Victoria C. So Victoria, thank you so much. And Teresa, who is from the UK, hi. My question is, where's your chromatic warmer? Or yeah, where has your chromatic warmer gone? So I have a lot of warmers. She also says, I absolutely love it, but sadly it wasn't released in the UK. I'm hopeful it may get here at a later date. I hope so. You never know, because you know, a lot of times you will see some things pop up. So don't count it out just yet. It may show up for you. So with my warmers, I do, and especially in this room, I will like swap them out and like move them around from time to time. Right now I have it boxed up because right now I'm getting ready to bring out all of my fall stuff. I have some of my fall warmers out now, so I'm filtering out some warmers and bringing out some of my fall ones. So right now it's in the box probably until the spring. I do love it. I do plan on keeping it, but it's not one that I'm completely married to. So if I wind up parting with it at some point, I might, but yeah, so with all my warmers, you may see some that shift around and move around. Don't feel like if it's gone that I've gotten rid of it. Most of the time I've just boxed it up for the time being so that I can enjoy some of my other warmers. Okay, so that is it. That is it for the Q&A for today. Thank you guys so much for the outpouring of support. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you like this little series that we're going to be doing. Like I said, there are more questions that haven't been addressed, and I will address them, like I said, hopefully next week. But if you have a question that you would like me to answer, feel free to either leave a comment on this video, or you can send it into my my email, which is lmrowberry@gmail.com. So it was so good hanging out with you guys today. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like the Q&A. Lets me know that you like this kind of chatty style vlog. I was gonna say vlog, but this chatty style video. So I really appreciate the support. So if you're new, please subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.